What's happening, everybody? NASCAR Game here and welcome to Forza Motorsport. If you've been following Forza for the past 24 hours, you might have heard about the 2024 NASCAR Next Gen update. Now, it is available on the American Thunder Tour in your career mode, but at the time I'm recording this, it's not available for the next few days, so pretty much until the 7th of November. However, there is a sneaky glitch you can perform where you can drive the cars a few days earlier. So pretty much go to free play and then head to advanced event setup and then choose any car you want. So in this case I'm choosing the Cadillac, and then choose any track you want. So in this case I'm choosing Daytona. Now, as much as I love the IMSA Cadillacs right now, unfortunately this is not what today's video is about. So what you want to do, as soon as you get into the race, you want to go on the pause menu and restart the race. Reason being because it will take you back to pit road. Once you're onto this, you want to head down to event setup, and because you chose advanced setups, you'll be able to do this, and you change your car division and you keep scrolling along till you get to NASCAR. Now, I'm not entirely sure why this works, but it doesn't matter because you get early access to the 2024 NASCAR Next Gen car. Whoa, that sounds good. Now, before we do any races in today's video, we're going to take a few laps around Daytona in the Camaro just to give us a sense of what the car feels like. Now, except the fact there aren't any mirrors in the car whatsoever, it honestly doesn't look that bad. It looks pretty good. It doesn't just look good, it sounds really good as well. This is the first time in quite a while us NASCAR fans have had a game where the car sounds very similar to real life. The car is pretty good, but one thing I want to test out to see if it has any blowover physics like in real life. So we're going to go through the grass right here, let's see if it takes off.
Another happy landing.
For today's video, we're going to have 3 races. The first one will be held at the World Centre of Racing. The second track we're going to is a track that hasn't been seen since Motorsport 4, but they've returned it in a new one. And the third track we're going to is one of my personal favourites. Oh my gosh. This is the first time I've seen this Toyota Camry in a video game that isn't iRacing. And it's officially time to get it out there on the racetrack. Here we go, it's time to go racing at Daytona. Green flag's out in the air, and look at all these Toyotas just ahead of us. They have dominated the field over the Fords, which is really surprising. We're now going to make it 3 wide on the inside, just barely on the double yellow line. Hopefully they don't penalise us. As you see, we definitely go below the line right there, but we kind of had to. We have just under 9 laps to go here at Daytona. We're right behind the leader, but if you're wondering why we're not making a move yet, plan is to kind of just stay behind him and wait until the end of the race, then we can make the move, so that way we can try and steal the victory late in the race. Just looking at the speedometer down in the right hand corner, and you can see right there over 200 miles an hour in the Gen 7 car. How I wish that these cars would do 200 miles an hour on restrictor plate tracks in real life. We are coming back to the white flag this time by. We have just enough fuel to finish the race. We are going to show no mercy at all. But to do that, we're going to back off just a little bit so we have enough room to build up the run. I hate to tell you guys, but I have no idea what happened to the rest of the footage from the final lap. But thankfully we got footage from the replay, so I can still show you exactly what happened. As you see right now, we look to the outside as we build up the run. We're going to get much closer, but we get a bit loose right there. That will give first place a bit of a breathing room as we now lose our momentum. We're unable to catch back up, so we get right behind him once again. But it doesn't really matter because we're going to sail for second. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sunset Peninsula Raceway. Personally, I'm really glad to see that they brought it back because this was the first track I ever raced on back in Forza 2. Oh my gosh, it's finally going to happen. Back 6 years ago when I first played Forza 2, I always imagined a NASCAR race at this track. Now it's going to happen as we make a move through the middle. Really intense right there as we get underway, heading towards turn number 1 to the inside of one of the Toyota drivers. Bit of contact, a bit of a chaotic start. That's 1 lap completed. We're going to build up a huge run going into turn number 1 as we now get to the inside of one of the Toyotas. 3 wide right there. Really intense and a really close call. Let's try and finish the race in 8th place if we can, because I hate to say it, but coming back to the white flag, the car has lost a bit of pace. I won't lie, not the best run here at Sunset Peninsula, but it doesn't matter because we got to race at this track in the NASCAR Gen 7 car, and we settle for an 8th place finish, which is still inside the top 10. I will say thank you to the Forza developers for not only adding Sunset Peninsula, but also for adding the Gen 7 car to the game. Because yes, whilst unfortunately it is a fictional track made by Forza, it's still a really cool track to see NASCAR race on. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the third and final race at the legendary, the iconic Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit. Secretly, Brands Hatch is one of my all-time favourite circuits, along up there with Talladega and Daytona, so seeing a Gen 7 car raced on this track is going to be incredible, and we all know NASCAR race there because of the well-known American Speed Fest, but seeing the Cup Series race here is awesome. The only thing being is that you're a NASCAR race on the Indy circuit, where today we are racing on the Grand Prix circuit. The best way to describe the Grand Prix loop is this quote from the movie Twister.
We're gonna take a walk in the woods.
And there's no better way to take a walk in the woods than with the new Ford Mustang Dark Horse. This is gonna be cool. The green flag is out, and for the final time today, we are now racing here at Brands Hatch as we now make it 3 wide, but we back off a little bit, thinking there's not much room going into Paddock Hill Bend, and thankfully we did as we now make it up to Halewoods, as we get a little bit loose right there, as we almost went off the track, a little bit of contact, as we now go around Druids, and what are the AIs doing? We're gaining a ton of positions. On to lap number 2, once again through Paddock Hill Bend, one of the most brutal corners of any racetrack, as we thankfully make it down without going off into the gravel trap, otherwise that's a bit of a disaster, as we now go down to first gear around Druid's hairpin. We still have the leader in sight, there is still a chance. Under the Johnny Herbert Bridge down Pilgrim's Drop, heading towards the Hawthorne Bend. This bit is really fast and technical. Let's see if we can do it without going onto track, and thankfully we do, just barely brushing the curves. The fast technical sector is going to carry on as we now go through Sterling's, 2 wheels on the grass, and now we head down one of my favourite parts, the Dingle Dell, going up towards Sheen Curve. Unfortunately, it's the last lap and the leader has gotten away from us as we now head to Graham Hill Bend, so now we're going to have to try and defend second place. We managed to hold on second place on the final lap, and just like that, for the second time today, we're going to finish second. There's the podium. You see the 2 Toyota Camrys first and third, and you see the Ford Mustang Dark Horse, us finishing second. Before we wrap things up, there's one more thing we have to do. That's right, driving into the oncoming traffic to see what happens, and whoa, we go absolutely flying. The one thing Forza did get right, and that's the Gen 7 car, in particular the Ford, always leaves the ground, and that was an insane crash. Before the video ends, I'd like to have a quick word about our good friends at Gridwalk. Gridwalk is the official place to get your NASCAR diecast, whether 164 or 124 scaled. Right now, you can not just pre-order, but now officially order some new 2024 diecast. Along with that, but for the holidays, you can now officially get the 2024 NASCAR diecast advent calendar for this year. And not just that, but Gridwalk do Christmas gift vouchers ready for the holidays. Gridwalk also have the largest selection of diecasts in the UK of up to 40 pages. And what is even better is the website is easy to access. Just choose your scale number, choose your NASCAR series, then boom. And just like that, let your endless scrolling begin. Gridwalk also have fast, reliable delivery, so your diecasts always arrive on time. Some of the diecasts you will see in the stop motions I make are from Gridwalk themselves, so a huge thank you to our good friends at Gridwalk. And what are you guys waiting for? Head on over to www.gridwalk.co.uk, and once again a big thank you to Gridwalk.